Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. And it's May 17, District Court number 6. I forgot to save, so we had to use the autosave, but it was okay because it took us like right before here anyway. Alright, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. So I think right now we're in the midst of understanding that Phoenix is under duress in some way. He's under like it's either blackmail or it's holding something above his head. And we're trying to figure out what his objection is going to be. We know what his objection is, but like, is it going to be more detailed? Is he going to have a different explanation? We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense is yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb will bestow spiritual power, yet the relic in question has failed to do so, therefore it has failed its own test. And again, the answer we had for this is... we're just basing this off one line. I feel like all you would really need is one line. The reason why we thought it was kind of flimsy was because, and even like Apollo thought it was flimsy too, so did Athena, is... he's basically saying Apollo has to have more power, and there has to be a magical power bestowed upon him for this to work. It's a really crazy ask. I see. Even the judge is like, what the hell? He's sticking with that ridiculous argument? Yeah, it doesn't work because the way I feel it doesn't work is because if you take any part of that poem and it matches what we just did, which is what happened, it means that it fits the poem in some way. Like, to me, it'd be the same thing as like, let's say a chant that was sung years and years ago back in ancient Greece, and you took one portion of a verse that really applied to like a killer's actions, right? I feel like then you could argue, like, if you're Phoenix, you could say, well, in the next verse it says that a dragon will come and eat everybody, and the dragon didn't arrive, so what happened, you know? I think it's intentionally flimsy to showcase that he is trying to stick anything against the wall. Even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded to defiant dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff, so they're saying that this is like a situation where they still believe that That's a Rebel did this. Even though, again, we kind of proven that he wasn't even like, there's no actual direct evidence to prove this. But this is the stance they're taking.
Objection!
A little bit of an objection there. What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that defiant dragons murdered the doctor. Oh, what does he have? Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Oh no, testimony that will show That's a Rebel did in fact kill Dr. Buff. So wait, this showcases 100% to me that that there's something going on behind the scenes where he is like being held by someone. Because there is no world, no universe where if you have direct evidence as to why someone kills someone, and someone being a killer, why you would... Now you could say they've waited this long before, but whoever is going to be giving this testimony, like, I would have brought them in first, because this would have helped you right away. What? Very well, you may call your witness. Because beforehand, I feel like some other times when like a late witness comes in and goes like, I know what actually happened, it's because it's like unexpected. No one's really expecting them to give this testimony and change everything. So again, I think this is a really good way of writing a way of showing that Phoenix 100% is not in his usual state of mind, and whatever's happening is very weird. Because why would you not present this evidence first? This is like perfect evidence. Unless you could say, well, like, the witness only came to us now. I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. Why new testimony could there be this late? That's what I'm saying. It's so late in the trial. It's so late in the trial. I know, like, I'm not like a legal expert. Oh, wait, it's Addison's? That's even weirder, though. Obviously, Addison has something over him. But, like... the fact that Addison wouldn't just say this in the first place is, if I'm the judge, I'm saying to myself, why wouldn't you tell us this before? And he's probably going to ask that question. He's probably going to have a really weird answer. Fellow citizens, it is I, Paul Addison, the one and once and future representative of the people. Geez, not him again. It's crazy. This is such a crazy trial. It makes me feel so nervous. My client divulged new information to me during the recess. Yeah, that makes sense. The idea that your client would just reveal new information. But already he's been proven to be like a bit of a fibber. He's already been proven to be a bit of a liar. And my whole thing as well is that, like, why? Why would you not? This would prove your innocence completely. Completely. He remembered something he saw, you see. What do you mean he remembered something? Again, I know this is Phoenix throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. It's intentionally really good writing, right? Because this is Phoenix literally just seeing what's going to stick in this situation. That's what I'm saying. It's so convenient. It's so convenient that all of a sudden he remembered something. And the thing is, like, again, I understand that this is, you don't base this off like real trials all the time. But I think a lot of time, I think 90% of the time, like we discovered that it does actually have like real laws. But I feel like any other judge might be like, yo, dude, like, what the hell? But I think what's happening here, in my opinion, is that there's a trust here for Phoenix, that Phoenix wouldn't just do something. And even though he could be like under some sort of like blackmail or whatever, there's a trust here from the judge, probably. And that's what I think is going to happen. Like, hey, not directly saying I trust Phoenix, but like, there's like a moral standing for Phoenix, in my opinion. You know what I mean? We're just going for it. The judge didn't even say anything. But you get what I'm saying. My explaining why he would be allowed to do this after fibbing and after not saying this earlier on and having it be so convenient. Because it is so, imagine in a trial, like imagine you're up against a murder trial and you as I know it's not a murder trial, it's a civil trial, but imagine your dad's a rebel and you're like, oh my God, I've been proven innocent. Fantastic. And then someone goes, well, actually we have new evidence now and he is going to say something else. Like, that's what I'm saying. The judge would usually be like, get out of here. What the hell? But in this case, I do think it's a situation where, like, because of Phoenix's history and his pedigree and his talent, people aren't going to be like, what the hell? They're going to be like, this is weird, but it's Phoenix, so I guess, It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. I believe this 100% that you were doing this at some point at 11 at night. That's what's ordered about being murdered from outside his study. But we have to press the hell out of this, buddy. Mr. Rebel snuck up behind him and struck him on the head. I guess we can press this too. Like, you saw all this? His weapon of choice? A suitcase. He hit him with the suitcase? A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. I mean, yeah. And honestly, in fairness, those, like, protective suitcases, I have one myself. Like, they're really good. The ones that have the kind of like the plastic casing or sometimes metal casing, whatever. They're really strong. Oh, that's it. You saw the murder as it happened? This is what I'm saying. It's so convenient. And you're just telling us now because... I saved the best for last. Okay, get out of here. No, I would leave right now. It's a tactic now to all the political greats. And this is actually probably very true for debates as well. Like, use your strongest points later. The murder weapon's a complete mystery. But my client's eyewitness account is finally brought into light. Phoenix, I know that something is happening here with you. So I know you know that this is flimsy and crazy as heck. To take in the testimony of someone who has an invested interest in this trial and who just all of a sudden remembers everything that's happened conveniently. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by a corner of some object. Yeah, 100%. We believed it to be a book. Yeah, these suitcases are fantastic, but Jesus Christ, I would not wish anyone getting hit with these, I suppose it very well could be the corner of a suitcase.
Objection!
Good objection. But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. I agree. Oh? I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. Wait, what? What's that supposed to mean? We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed. No way. But did we not luminol test this as well? What? The doctor's blood on Mr. Rebel's suitcase. Oh, we weren't even looking for this, but I can't believe I guess we didn't do a blood test. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Rebel used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You objected to us right away. You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that a suitcase covered in his fingerprints. I mean, it's his suitcase, right? But is he saying that there's no other fingerprints than him? It makes sense his fingerprints will be on it. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. How did the blood get on there? Like, that's Rebel's not killing this guy. The turnabout terror strikes again. This is quite a convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. That's crime. It was around 11 a.m. at night when I was out on the mobile meet and greet around the village. I believe it 100%. I believe it. This is a crazy trial. It's making me feel so nervous. We're going to press 2 and 3 and possibly 4 as well. Yeah.
Hold it!
Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking.
Indeed, I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Crane.
There haven't been many murders there, I take it. There's one before, right?
If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again.
Honestly, like, I think there's been, like, a murder there before, but, like, 2 murders in one village is still pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Because, like, again, I come from Ireland, right? Where in Ireland, like, when a killing happens, everyone hears about it because it's, like, a big deal, right? Ireland is so small as well that, like, and we don't have, like, guns or anything like that as well. So if someone has a gun, it becomes national news, you know? But like in small villages in Ireland, if like one person dies, it is a tragedy upon tragedies. But then as well, and not just in Ireland, I'm sure it's other countries have small villages too. But then like if 2 murders happened, town is cursed. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
A vote for me is the verdict of banished murder forever from the
Well, I would hope that like that's the bare minimum of what someone could do, right? Yeah. Good luck with that.
Miss Addison Wilson, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime. Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind him and struck him on the head.
Yeah, we're pressing this one as well. He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Rebel was there?
That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book.
How could you... But, see, the thing is, I know like it's a story, right? And I know that like, you know, he's lying. But the way I would question it is like, for me personally, like if someone walks up behind me, I might not see them coming, right? 100%, right? But if someone walks up behind me, again, I have one of those suitcases. I have a suitcase similar to that. They jangle, they jingle, they rattle when you pick them up. They have a sound. They're heavy. Like there's no doubt in my freaking mind that you would hear it, right? But also, why would that Rebel leave his freaking suitcase there? I see. What did you see Mr. Rebel do next?
He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window.
Well, you couldn't see anything before, right? You only saw him running away. You couldn't see anything before? One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now. Oh, okay. Crime was clearly visible. We know it could be. So the doctor was reading a book? Because that's an idiot. He's adorably clumsy. I wouldn't call him an idiot. But it's not this. And the crime could have been clearly visible. The window is so big. And that was our argument before, was that like you could see it clearly. So the doctor was reading a book? The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. That's a vital testimony. Because I could be wrong with this, but I don't think I am, because again, we made a whole case that the window could clearly see the murder happen and clearly see the body. If we say that now that that's not true, then that makes our whole start of our case and original getting of him invalid, and actually would go back and probably help their case even more.
Very well. The witness will please add to the testimony. So can we have something to do with reading a book?
Do we have anything that would make him stop that he couldn't read a book? The doctor standing in front of the bookshelf, absorbed in a book. Do we have anything that we can present that's about reading a book? Do we have a statement based on him reading a book? Yeah. Wait, so... Oh, because I was like, well, this proves he could read with glasses. No, they were found on his desk. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I knew it couldn't be the window. I knew it could not have been the window. 110%. That invalidates our original argument. The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelf, absorbed in a book. You say? Can I say how much I love these games? That I'm sitting here in my chair playing this game, and I'm absorbed. I love just the real. It feels it's so interesting to me because it's equal parts the coziest game you can ever play, because I love the colors, I love the designs, I love the music, I love all this stuff too. But it also it's so absorbing with how nervous it makes you feel. It's really just a comfort game mixed with an anxiety riddle game. it's everything rolled into one. Yeah, I love it. I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable.
That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I'm anything but 100% reliable.
I mean, you've proven that yourself, buddy. You've proven that yourself. It would be my pleasure. Lady, it seems the doctor's eyes have gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. Yeah, because what would have to happen is, it wouldn't make sense why That's a Rebel would kill him, take his glasses off him, and then put him on the table. Because here's the thing, I love That's a Rebel. I love him to pieces. He's one of my favorite characters in the whole freaking world, right? I love him. But there's no doubt in my mind that That's a Rebel would not think to take off his glasses for this big ruse. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Addison Wiberson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. I love the voting public. You what?
I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see.
How many mistakes do you get to make? This is the problem. And they're doing a politician so well. The problem is, he can make 300 mistakes and then just go, sorry. And then his followers will go, yeah, he's sorry though, you know? Or they won't even say, nowadays they won't even say he's sorry. Nowadays they just be like, no, he's infallible. You can't say anything to him.
The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Addison Rebel went out.
You could not see that. You could not see that because of the freaking bookshelf, buddy. You could not see that at all. But then Doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run.
Dr. Wolf was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving.
This is so crazy to me, right, as well, right? Because have you guys ever, like, looked in your own window, right? You shouldn't look into other people's windows, okay? I know that goes without saying. Advice from Calvin, don't look into other people's windows. But have you ever, like, walked by your own home and looked in your own window, like, just to look in for a second? Maybe, like, even when you were younger, when you saw, like, maybe, like, your dad or whatever cooking the dinner or whatever, and you saw him, you're like, oh, look there, you saw your brother or sister sitting at the table or whatever. You can see them right through the window, but generally, like, there is like a limited view that you have because you're looking through a window, you're looking at a distance, you're only looking in passing. So, and you could say, well, this is a bigger window, but I still think it's like you had to make out all this stuff like, oh, he's tired. You could not, like, if I looked in a window that was that big even to my own home, even on the sunniest of days, but this was at night as well, by the way. I know you could say the light was on. I wouldn't really be able to notice, like, if he was tired or if he was just blinking too much. Like, I don't think you'd be able to notice this stuff. Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of the head? Isn't that something that should be possible from the front desk?
Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's how he was clobbered.
Again, he's an answer for everything. So that's what you saw. That's what he claims to have seen, Mr. Judgy Poo. What, Judgy? Where did I get Judgy Poo? Well, Mr. Justice, this sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation. Mr. Judge. Me? You're punishing me if I lose this? A big problem. Yeah, he couldn't see it because of the freaking thing, Judge. Big problem. There is a problem. A very big problem. The witness statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny. Is that so? Then will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this? Gladly, Your Honor. So the layout, right? The layout would be the perfect thing.
Take that!
Right? A diagram of the study. Mr. Addison Wiberson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off. Here. But from this vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness' line of sight. Why, yes, I believe you're right.
But.
Wait, what do you... Was he going to bite it? Phoenix. The fact remains my client knew that the suitcase was Phoenix, you couldn't see it happen, buddy. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene, but how many times does he get to lie? I know Phoenix is under some sort of, like, thing right now, but how many times does he get to lie? How many times? I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask... Oh my god. Oh my god. Apollo, I think Apollo was saying that then he must have seen it happen very up close. So up close that he might have been doing it himself. What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? Oh, Phoenix, thank you so much for saying what you just said. From what vantage point could Mr. Addison Whipperson have been dozing, could have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. Oh my god, Apollo. Oh my god, Apollo. The witness saw the murder from right here. Here? Oh, wait. Wait. So it couldn't be here, so do we say it's here? He was right here.
Take that!
You gotta be kidding, but that's... It is indeed, yes, he did it. But everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study... But that's the scene of the crime, Athena. When I realized what was happening, what Apollo was doing, I had the biggest sense of pride, but also excitement, because 110% Apollo freaking walked them into this. Walked them into it. Maybe not totally intentionally from the start, but he walked them into this. I know, Mr. Addison Whipperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting... We're suggesting. Mr. Addison Whipperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase? Oh my freaking god. Oh, I love these moments. I love these moments. I love them so much. What are you proposing is ludicrous. Is it ludicrous? How do you know it was a suitcase? He couldn't have seen it unless he was right up close. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Rebel is a muscular... Buddy, you can pick up a suitcase. They're 10 kg in some cases. They're like literally 10 kilograms. Less than sometimes. He has a point. The suitcase I have, you could, without any clothes in it, you could lift it up no problem. I gave it trying to lift that thing. Oh, this one was heavy though. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? That's a rebel is the doctor's killer.
Phoenix did a good job of turning that around very quickly though, because we had such a joy there. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dance. You'll have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo. Oh, I will. And with his own technique, no less. Mr. Addison Whipperson could swing the suitcase around. We'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon instead. I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright. Just like you taught me, oh my god. And here's the thing, I know for a fact Phoenix does not feel bad about this. Right? Now, Phoenix is probably worried about losing this case for whatever they're holding over his head, but Phoenix 100% would be proud of Apollo with this. 100%. You talk big, Mr. Justice. Would you have what it takes? Oh my god, this freaking standoff. Well, this should be interesting. Mr. Addison Whipperson's testimony has been filled in one inaccuracy after another. First, he said that Dr. Bubb was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used? So the important thing here is the position of the victim and his killer relative to each other? Yes, Your Honor. If they are positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean... I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. Wait, did he drop it on him? It's quite distinctive, as you can see. If he was sitting here and he dropped it down from the balcony. Do you think it was Whimperson who was pushing the wheelchair? Oh my god. The suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use. No, I got chills. Apollo. Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Bubb's killer at the time of the crime? Right? 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 There? Oh, that's Yep. See, Phoenix seems more worried about the idea of losing, not because he's worried about losing to Apollo, but because I think there's something happening here that he's worried about. That should wrap up things pretty nice for you, Mr. Wright. Like, what's going to happen if he loses? I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. Look at this. Really cool layout. The killer doesn't have to swing the suitcase. Oh, that's such a horrible way to die, isn't it? If you use gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one Paul Addison Wiberson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor. Oh my god, that's brutal. Don't show it. And sent it hurtling down to Dr. Buffett, who was sitting at the coffee bar. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah. The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down after he'd finished reading it or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in the mountain of books.
Objection!
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Is there? I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I say the evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. I mean, let's go for it, right? The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are? At this point, they wouldn't... The coffee-stained book. Look at it. The coffee-stained book. The coffee-stained book. Yes! Oh my god, Apollo. Apollo, like, again, I want to make clear here, like, I always worry about when I praise Apollo that I'm praising myself, but I feel like you guys would agree too. It is, I think, a lot of times in this game, 40% you driving the court case, of course, but also I think 60% is also Apollo coming up with, like, ways to lead us to these moments. I think Apollo's doing a fantastic job. What's more, if it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning, this is so crazy to have Phoenix like this. One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. It tells us Doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head, causing both his blood and his coffee to splatter on it. Apollo did amazing here. Apollo did so amazing here. Well, Mr. Addison Wiberson?
What motive could I possibly have to kill Dr. Buff?
And there it is, that final excuse corner killers are so fond of. I love that Apollo's got to the point in his trials that when he's heard Addison say this, he goes, typical. You know what I mean? Of course. Which I think is so good that he's gotten to that point. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave rooms. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. Look how gorgeous our man is. And all it did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's Orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands, yeah? He is a thief, but he returns his stuff. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you. That you killed him with your own hands, isn't that right, Mr. Addison Wiberson? Is he gonna eat it? Or is he just looking at it breaking more and more? Look at him cowering here.
That is...
Oh no. Phoenix, come on, man. Come on. Apollo. Oh no. A shakiness in Phoenix's voice. Please don't accuse my client of... Phoenix. What the hell? Something is definitely wrong. Because Phoenix is the type that if he found out his own client was up for murder and was a murderer and could be a murderer, and he thought that even for a second, he'd join in with the prosecution. He would. Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? Again, it's something he would never say. He would never say that. What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a oh no. He said the line. He said the line that happens and look, even he doesn't believe it. Even he doesn't believe it. When I say the line, it's like when someone does really bad in a courtroom and they do something actually horrific. And then they go, well, he's a young man with a promising future. F his future. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burning. Oh, no. Phoenix, you don't even believe this. Phoenix, you do not even believe this. The taint of a scandal. If he has a scandal, it's his own freaking fault. This isn't a K-pop scandal where they go to a nightclub and they get taking pictures of it and then people go, oh my God, they're at a nightclub. This is murder. Say what? See, this is why they're doing such a good job of making Phoenix just say stuff that he would never say. And he's taped it back up again.
Right, you better do something to change the current courtroom climate.
He has something over Phoenix.
Or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her.
What? Her? It can't be Trucy. It can't be Athena, so is it Pearls or Maya? What? So that's what he has over him. What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that a rebel is a killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Oh my God, that has to feel so bad to hear if you're Phoenix, doesn't it? If it means that Pearls or Maya are in danger, we're going to have to figure something out. We really are, but Apollo doesn't know this. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me. But here's the thing, though. From Apollo's perspective, it's frustrating to hear from Phoenix's perspective because, again, he probably hurts because you know you can't say anything. From Apollo's perspective, this is the guy you look up to, your father figure, and he's bullcrapping, you know? I've never seen him like this. I've seen him his head down, but he's never in this way. What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Addison Wimperson, the defense hereby... Apollo waits, so Athena's picking up on something as well, and I think with Apollo, it's probably hard to pick up on what's happening in the heat of the moment. Not you too, Athena. And it's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have. Oh no, you should have definitely said it. I trust it's Maya. Freaking hell, what the hell? He's in his freaking pelican like an idiot. Just kill. I want this guy dead. Get him out of here. I can't really say, but just remember, if I am arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. He is horrifically awful. So we have to what? Let That's a Rebel take the blame for this freaking murder so Maya doesn't get hurt. Jesus Christ. Like, so all you have to do is ensure I get my hands on the relic. I hate this guy so much. I must deliver to my benefactor at all costs. What did they want the relic for anyway? It's something to do with an old legend. My patron sees the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret. So whoever wants it wants to. My blood is boiling, guys. I'm getting that, like, you know when you feel like hot? Maya as in Maya Fey? Yeah, Phoenix is, yeah, the boss's legendary former assistant. That's one way to put it. Yeah, like he probably like besides Trucy, like I'd say the person closest to him in the whole world. Miss Faye's being held hostage. This is so freaking awful. This is so freaking awful. So it seems. Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this? Sorry, Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away. But again, I understand where Athena's come from. Please tell us this in the future. Not that it would have made it any easier, would it? I mean, this is so difficult because there's a lot of things to this, and it makes my heart sink because Athena having information about the trial and not telling Apollo is kind of so unfair on Apollo, because Apollo that's his, technically his assistant for this trial is Athena. But then there's also a thing where like it's so horrible for Athena because it's like now she's between a rock and a hard place. Do I tell Apollo and help him out, or do I, go against Phoenix? It's the same thing that Trucy's feeling. What side do I pick on this? I'm not picking a side. Unfortunately, she was kind of forced to pick a side here, but it's not fair on her to have to deal with this either. It's not fair on Phoenix to have to deal with this either. It's all Addison's fault. It's caused like this big, and I'm just going to say it caused this big family turmoil here between Trucy, Phoenix, Athena, and Apollo that should never have been on them in the first place. It's so horrible because, again, as I said, it's not fair on Apollo, but it's definitely not fair on Maya, and it's definitely not fair on Athena. It's definitely not fair on Phoenix. It's definitely not, the only person who deserves a punishment here and deserves to be feeling bad is not us. It's not these beautiful characters. It's that freaking Paul Addison. He started to make things more difficult to be found out. This is crazy because, like, again, Phoenix never claimed to be a perfect soul, But again, I understand why he's doing it. He's willing to, again, put That's a Rebel away or accuse him of murder in order to save Maya, which, again, I'm not surprised. And I'm not going to look down on him either. It's a horrible thing to do, but if someone was holding Trucy hostage for me, right? And they came to me and said, you know what I mean? It's like if it's a question you never, like, even when I'm thinking about the question, it's a question you never want to ask yourself. Think of in real life, if someone you love is being held hostage and they say you have to accuse someone else of murder, it's a question you wouldn't even want to ask yourself. As if things weren't already hard enough. What do we do now, though? So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange. Oh, Jesus Christ, Phoenix. This is so difficult. I mean, of course it'd be excruciating for him. 110%. He had to accuse someone of murder. He had to lie in order to protect Maya. Think, Justice. There's gotta be something you can do. Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours, I believe you are in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Is it not enough that we proved That's a Rebel didn't murder? This music is crazy good. Would you care to continue? I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry. We've never seen Phoenix even like this. This is emotionally excruciating to look at as well. I'm not saying I don't hope I'm not saying it doesn't sound like I'm saying like, oh, don't turn away. It's more of a case of just like, I think it's, you're supposed to feel this way. Like looking at Phoenix like this tormented is hard. What's gone into you too? If I accuse the slime bag, I put Miss Faye's life in jeopardy.
It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder.
No, you're too sleazy and you're too much of a slime bag and you have too much money and connections, and whatever you did here, you will pay. You disgusting freak of a man.
After all, nations fuse to rest squarely on my shoulder.
It does not. It doesn't even nearly. You will come and go like a freaking gust in the wind. You will not matter. My body is I'm shaking. This is like seeing Phoenix like that, hearing Maya being in trouble. All this is painful to even comprehend. It's painful to even comprehend. And when I say it's too painful to comprehend, is that I mean, we can understand what's happening, but also at the same time too, it's a situation where I could not imagine being in Phoenix's position. Either I give up or I couldn't imagine. Oh, I hate him. I hate him so much.
Once I present the crystal to my patron, victory is assured. The one day I become president and the king, I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusation.
I can't kowtow to him, but the defense would like to retract the previous accusation. Huh? Wait, what? Was that? Dirk! Oh my god, Apollo. Dirk? I don't know what's going on here. But a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. Oh my god, Dirk. He saw Apollo being in distress. He saw Apollo about to give in to something that he didn't believe. With defeat and resignation written all over your face. And the little smile as well. It's so crazy to me. And such actually a really well-written thing that in our moment of finally, once again, we're drowning. And he comes and saves us again. Oh, the freaking defiant dragon symbol.
Never yields.
Oh my god. So freaking sick. It's so sick. I held my hand up, by the way, as I was doing that. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth. Dirk, a dragon never yields. Oh my lord. He's right. It's all over. I give up now. Mr. Wright's hands are tied. It's up to me to do what must be done. This is amazing. This is freaking amazing. The fact that Dirk was the one who inspired us. Again, we were drowning and Dirk saved us. And he was the one who freaking built us back up again. Oh my god, my heart's pounding. He saved my neck so many times, true. Now, it's my turn to save his. Yeah, about Phoenix. He's Phoenix has been supporting us for years. He's been our inspiration. I love that Apollo was taking it this way. Because remember with Dual Destinies, Phoenix saved Apollo. He saved his emotions. He saved his life. Mentally. And now Apollo is going to save Phoenix's life. Oh my freaking god. Incredible stuff. My heart is pounding so loud. Dirk, thanks for the wake-up call. Oh, look at Apollo's face. Determined. Now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm going to find the way to save Miss Faye. And see that justice is served. Wait. Now? That scumbag holding... Yes, he is a scumbag. He's holding Miss Faye hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. And it seems it said patron believes the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right? No, not yet? Yes, we have as too definitive, but this opens things up? Man, I cannot express how I am like full of chills, heart pounding. The legend says the founder bestowed a great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it's meant we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe. Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally? Wait, what? But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the living world? Channeling. 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 The founder can return through channeling. We've done that. We've returned someone dead from the living we've returned someone to the living world from the dead before. Oh, I know. There was a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling. Of course, you have to know what the founder looks like first. Oh my god, yes! Because we know their face. So freaking good. But the orbs revealed her face to us, so what is a sign that we could channel her? Given the facts in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's orb power, I need a spirit medium. We're not practicing channeling anyway. Guys, I cannot express how much I'm shaking right now. A medium is needed to obtain the power. Yep, so good. So freaking good. The ability of a medium is needed to channel the spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb secrets. That means Mr. Addison Whimpers' patron will need one too. And once the slimy apologist realizes that he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss... Apollo, well done. Well done. The only person who can channel right now, at least, you could say Pearls, but like the only one who can truly has the power to do it is Maya Fey. Pearls can only do it like reverse, right? And she doesn't have control of it. Look at our man. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Paul Asenwimson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Faye's head. Oh, Phoenix, lift your head up, huh? Mr. Addison Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receiving a great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean only Maya Fey? Can I say how amazing it is that Apollo's taking control of this trial? And now Phoenix is relying on him. It's so fantastic the way they've done this. Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Karain, the birthplace of spirit mediums. I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Kurainism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. So this whole thing was an effort to show how you could channel the... Oh my god, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Are we going to do that now? Exactly. Through a spear medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when Pearls imbued my Magatama spirit with spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in similar manner, it is said the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond her. Wait a second. The legend is true. Having someone from Karain here have this facial expression after finding out, yeah, a big deal. Do you understand now, Mr. Addison, Wimperson? You were holding a hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever. We literally saved Maya by showing how necessary she... Look at the stance we have, how necessary she is. Hold it?
There's always Pearl Fey. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money,
She would not take your money. She would not take your money. She's not the kind of person to tempted by material gain. Yeah, I thought she couldn't do it yet, but if I remember correctly, she did it in a previous trial, but like I didn't know how powerful she was at it. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Karain to help the channel the founder for you. What's so amazing about this is that, like, it showcases that Addison has no true people that love him or that he loves people. Because he thought the cousin of Maya Fey would just, like, accept that you hurt or killed Maya. For money. He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing 110%. I know how crazy they are up there. Crazy in terms of like, I want to make clear there's loads of amazing people in Karain, beautiful people. I don't want to just say like everyone's crazy over there. I'm saying the system is crazy in terms of killing people and executing people. Now confess, you killed Dr. Buff, didn't you?
I wasn't supposed to end this way.
Besides, Wimperson, are you admitting to committing the crime?
You're my lawyer, right? Do something.
It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth. Yes, 110%.
What?
Mr. Addison Wimperson, you've sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage taking, but in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for you to make things right. I owe it all to you, Apollo. Oh my god. My heart. I could die. I could literally die right now. I'd be happy. I swear to freaking God. Phoenix already believed him, but to be like, I owe it all to you, Apollo. Because he did. And the roles are reversed. Phoenix saved Apollo last game. Apollo saved him this game. Mr. Wright. I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Addison Wimperson. Oh my. I must resign as your attorney. No. I keep thinking he's gonna eat it. Does this mean I'm under arrest? If you admit, yeah, I mean, all the evidence points to you killing him. There goes your political career. Well, actually, criminals can become politicians, apparently. You can commit the most heinous crimes and be, you know, you could become president or something. Again, it's like he's taping this together as, like, trying to hold it together just with, like, you know, shoestring and glue. He's not giving up.
I've nothing to confess.
What?
I've said nothing to confess, and I don't, and I won't, especially not to plead.
Again, as I said, this is politicians as old as time. Commit a crime, deny, deny, deny. Even if people have evidence, who cares? This is the thing that's old as time. This guy doesn't know when to give up.
Besides, there's no truth to all these.
Can I give an example? First of all, there's no truth to these allegations. There's going to be truth. Can I give an example? There's a politician called Bertie Ahern who was basically done for fraud, basically in Ireland, and he was like legitimately like shunned by the whole country, and he moved money around, he put it in the wrong places, and his leadership led to basically a downturn in the Irish economy, a massive downturn. You know what's actually crazy? There was talks of him running for the presidency last year. And people were like, well, he wouldn't be too bad. You know what I mean? It's crazy how like you can do something so horrible. Not so, I know like there's a difference between murder and moving money around and fraud and stuff, I guess. But like someone can commit like fraud and all this stuff. And I know he wasn't committed for fraud, but he did like a lot of like moving around the books and stuff, I guess too. And then 10 years later or 20 years later, someone can go, well, I actually trust him as president. You know what I mean? It's like so silly. He didn't obviously win in the end, but you know what I mean?
I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine. You could have wore gloves.
All that means is you wiped them off, taking care to only Mr. Rebels.
As many a great politician has said before me, no comment.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at this. I love that Phoenix is helping us now. I love he's helping us. Look at the situation from a different angle. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped off from above? We know that he was up there because someone moved. Someone moved. Is this not it? Here it is. Someone was pushing her. Someone was pushing her. Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor. If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over to the coffee bar, what would that would place him right around here? Maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. So what we're saying is, it will place him right around here. If the killer pushed the suitcase from the coffee bar in the second floor over the coffee bar. Are we presenting this then? Is that what we're saying? If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway, that would place him right around here. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you present the layout, like we're saying that it was already on the balcony, so it's not the layout, it's this. It's what we said. Right? That appears to be a statement about how it's related to this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we already present the layout. We already know. Because if we just say he was just standing up here, what would that do? Oh, yeah, he was standing up here. Okay, I deny it. On the night of murder, Your Honor, Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. With her there in her wheelchair, the killer wouldn't be able to drop the suitcase down, so she was moved. She was moved. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in the wheelchair. Ah. Poor Sarge. Someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat, as fast as my wheels could take me. She's so adorable. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Addison Whipperson? Oh, he's realizing it there again. And if the killer to push the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. If only he'd been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now he's neither able to discard nor alter it. That piece of evidence wasn't supposed to be in the courtroom today? And yet it's sometimes things... Sometimes things do get better. First of all, he's talking about what happened with his own thing, but is he also talking about Army? Like they weren't supposed to be in court today? And he also let go of them when he moved the wheelchair. And things do get better and they actually showed up here.
But this wasn't supposed to happen.
Maybe that's what they're talking about. I love the double meaning though of things getting better for us as well, right? Well, too bad, because the evidence has sped away from you that night. There it is, it's Army, right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is this person. Yep. She's only 12 years old. Oh my god. How old are you? 60,000. Let's go. Let's go. That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back up into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. I adore her. Not until Athena drew her out her therapy session, that is. Oh, I was wondering what was happening there. Well, the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase off. The same can't be said for the prints that got away.
My fellow Canadians.
Well, Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson, try to explain right away out this one. Wait, so are they saying, oh my freaking god, in the end, like him trying to like, him just not, again, to me it showcases his lack of care for, I love this pose from Apollo here, by the way, I love it. His lack of care for people meant that when he wheeled the wheelchair away, he didn't think about fingerprints. He didn't think about anything else. All he thought about as Army was an obstacle, which is why he failed. Army wheeled her away for a second and didn't even think she's going to come back up in the trial, because that doesn't matter to him. All that matters is his task, and I lie my way out of everything in the future. But again, Apollo and Phoenix, well, Apollo and Athena and all these characters really helped Army Buff come out of her shell, kind of take that step forward into the future, make things better for herself. And in the end, being helpful and nice to someone, actually treating someone well, helped out. While as Addison, the way he treats everybody, whether it be Maya, whether it be Army, all this stuff, he treats them as less than human. Maya is just a means to an ends. Phoenix is just a lawyer he has to use. Army was just in the way. He treats all these people as less than human, and that's come back to bite him. That's come back to bite him in the frickin' butt.
Paul Addison, Savior Crane. I am not a crook.
Oh, the Nixon line.
My political career cannot end like this. I'm destined for great things. Something wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream.
Oh my god. Oh, he's on the... What? The election results? Oh, he's having a vision that he won. He's maniacal. He's lost his mind. This is a crazy good animation. Paul has been arrested on murder charges and slipped... Oh my freaking god. What a breakdown.
Don't go now, please.
His breakdown... Oh my god, Grandpa calling for his grandpa to help him. But this is what we see. And it finally falls apart. The thing he was holding together with just a bit of tape. Guys, the breakdowns in this game are the best. I think the best breakdowns in all of Ace Attorney. In terms of animations and all this stuff too. And again, I think that like... I want to make clear, in terms of like animation and visuals, they're amazing. But I do think previous games still had some amazing breakdowns. But I think the breakdowns this time are like so involved and so creative and so like remember the one with the theater as well? Like they're really, really like advanced now. Whereas like I don't want to downplay any other breakdowns because they're always like very like impactful in terms of emotions and anger or the changing of someone's face or character. You know, they were always impactful, but I think they've outdone themselves with animations this time. Bailiff, get to the first aid station on the double. Wow, what a freaking trial. And in the end, Phoenix and Apollo work together. This is yet an unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, seems the relic is indeed the Founder's orb. And it seems Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Bob's murder. Yeah, you can't, I think in some Japanese, maybe I'm wrong, I think in Japanese courts, in murder trials, it's not you didn't do it. It's okay if you didn't do it, who did? Which is different from American trials. But again, it's a civil case, so you cannot trial someone for a murder in a civil case. You have to wait. Apollo, I want to thank you for everything. Oh, Phoenix, Jesus freaking Christ, it was an absolute pleasure to help you out. And again, this is the key to this whole trial, as I said. Addison treating Army as nothing, treating Maya as a means to an end, treating Phoenix as just a nothing as well, treating us like we're nothing. But the way what won out here was us treating Army with respect, was our care for Maya, was the care that Apollo and Phoenix have for each other, was the care that Athena has for Phoenix. All of and the care for Dirk has for us. It really was intentionally trying to showcase that. Look at what happens when everyone has humanity and love for each other, and look what happens when you treat people like pawns. I think it can't not be intentionally showing that. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending to the truth. It must have been so hard. I don't know what I would have done without you. Oh, again, right to the freaking heart. I just always think back to Apollo screaming at Phoenix, asking him to help him in the last game. And now this is like, you know, when your dad grows up and he's like older now, and you end up helping him with something. Don't mention it. I know you love it, and you should love it. You were amazing today, Apollo. He was amazing. He was fantastic. Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk. Yeah, Dirk gave you the inspiration, saved you from drowning again.
A dragon never yields.
Great line. Great line. Really great line. Even when wounded, the dragon bites down hard and never lets go to its dying breath. It glares, roars, and latches on. I do like sometimes how sometimes they like repeat something. But here's the thing, can I say it right now? I actually don't mind them repeating stuff over and over again that they've done previously, because I heard this like complaint about Persona one time when people were like, Persona will do a flashback to something happened 20 minutes ago. But people's lives are different. Some people saved in between then and came back. You know what I mean? That's what lawyers do to get the truth. And also I think emotionally it emphasizes the moment more, right? Because then you know what Apollo's thinking. A dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart. As it seems both sides have no further objections, would Dirk Samadi please take the stand? I've definitely grown more attached to Dirk, for sure. This court awards you over to the 5 dragons per the stated transfer agreement. Fantastic. Just like that. There's no not guilty, no guilty. It was a civil trial. Look at that. The smiling as the confetti falls. Oh, look at them. Phoenix has to feel good now. What a massive civil case. Should the Kingdom of Crane claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again, 110%. That makes sense. I just hope I say pray that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. It would be crazy. Indeed, a trial like that might spark international incident. Still, there are bigger, more momentous things to stir the air. The revolution. Dirk's really serious about this, of course. And again, it's something I support so much. Court is adjourned. After seeing Albie nearly killed and Phoenix and Mine nearly killed, how can you not support the revolution in this case? In this way. And by the way, here's the thing. I knew that this wasn't the last part of the game. And I know it's not the last part of the game. And I'll tell you why. Because we have so much more to still solve here. There's the rebels. And there's also Rafa's character arc. Nayuta as well. Like, there's so much left. I knew this wasn't the end of the game, 100%. Because if it was, it would be freaking crazy. May 17, District Court, defendant lobby number 3. Nice work, son. They're playing the ending trial music, the ending of the trial music, but it's not over, guys. It's not. Like, I refuse. It can't be. If they ended here, it would be like one of the most biggest malpractices in writing ever. It would be one of the biggest tragedies and travesties to ever come to Ace Attorney. If they ended it here. That's how I know it's not ending. We finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution. Revolution? It just doesn't seem real. Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is that my boy... What are you going to say? Oh, that's my boy, sorry. That's very beautiful. Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd won if I'd been able to fight me head on. Here's the thing, you won this trial. I want to make it clear here. You originally won the trial before Phoenix had to go back and come up with something else. He did. He really did. I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright. I agree. I think Apollo returned the favor of... again, Phoenix saved Apollo emotionally last time. And now we saved him. Saved him? Yeah, remember what he said? He didn't have to bend the truth anymore. And it was all thanks to you. Yes, Apollo, you have to take the credit for this. I don't know about that, Apollo. It's okay to be like, yeah, I did good. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated. 100%. Mr. Dirk, are you okay, Trucy? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you going to have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder. I think it'd be an amazing thing to witness, 100%. You just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books. It's insane. It's such an incredible feat. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. What? Why? A face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the... Oh, true. Yep. You need the true name of the person. All right. Pearl mentioned something like that. And the founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. Oh, so they have to get it off the queen. In short, the only living person who knows it in this current queen is the current queen of Karain, Garan. Oh, so without her help, we won't be seeing any of the founder anytime soon? That's no fun. Oh, yeah, it's not over. It's not even nearly over. So, Dirk, what will you do now? First, I'll start by tracing my route. Tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands. Since we know it was Paul Addison that asked the doctor to study it, isn't he the one who stole it? No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anyone near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone who contacted the royal family. Okay, that makes sense, okay. All right, you said something to that effect back in the cave. Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light in this. Oh my god, my two dads, both talking. My two dads. Oh my god, Sarge. Oh, they're back at the drone. That's fine work you did today, trial today. You did your sergeant proud. Back at you, Sarge. It took real courage to leave your room like that. It did. I cannot be overstated how big of a step that Army Buff took today. They took such a step. It's huge. If anyone knows anything about, it's like agoraphobia, I think it is, but it is a massive step to open your window. It's a massive step to poke your head out the window. It's a massive step to take 10 steps outside your house. What Army Buff did today, it cannot be overstated how incredible they did. Oh, look at her. It's all thanks to you and Quartzworm and Sykes. It's all, you need to take I know we helped you out here, but I need you to understand how amazing you did. You did incredible. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth. You can sally forth. But battle's only just begun. One for me and one for me alone to fight. To lose your mother and then your father. What a terrible thing to endure. Yeah, and being wheelchair bound doesn't help. Here's the thing, right? The wheelchair stuff as well, obviously, it's mentioned. She is in a wheelchair, 100%. I'm glad that this game... I don't know, like here's the thing, I want to make it clear, like, it's like, it's one of those things where it's the default and it's the bare minimum. But I'm super glad that this game, like, and I can trust these games. Always treating her with respect. Because again, it's one of those situations when you are in a situation whether you lose your eyesight, whether you lose the feeling in your legs, whether you lose the feeling lower neck from all the way down, when you have I don't know what you call it. Is it called? Again, I don't want to ever be bad in it because I know that I think it's called a difference now as well and stuff like that too. But you know what I'm saying? You deserve and should live a happy life. You deserve to live a happy life and you can live a happy life. Your life is not over 110%. But what Apollo's saying here again is saying that, you deserve the whether it be social help or anything like that to be able to live a better life, whether it be something they can create for you or something they build for you. So it's one of those situations, not having your parents around, there will have to be some help, of course, for her as well. But I'm so glad that this, again, it's why I can trust these games so much. The game treated her with so much respect, and I'm very, very happy about that. I'm so happy about that. And again, it's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum to treat people with respect. It's the bare minimum. But other games don't always do that. There are games out there that would have made a big joke out of it. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things. She's a person that deserves respect just like everybody else. She is Army Buff, and she's incredible. She really is. Private Justice. I've been thinking, it's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have a papa to coddle me. Well, you can stand? I'm afraid I don't follow. Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice? Yes, sir. What is she up to? Oh, okay. Oh, the smile on her face. So she can stand. She's standing. I wonder if, when she said coddle, I wonder if after her mother's death, the father got so worried she'd get hurt again. So he basically just made it, like, not made her, but like wanted her to stay kind of like protected and less mobile, maybe, in terms of like, he wanted her to move around less, I guess, or didn't want her to get hurt or something, because that's why she has the elbow pads and the knee pads and stuff like that. I wonder. Well, that's also because of the army stuff as well, the army helmet. I wonder if that's what it was, because I have heard of, like, if you sit in a wheelchair for a long time, it would be hard to stand up. It really would be. If you're lying down for a long time, let's say you're in a coma for years. I know it's different, but like you'll find it hard standing up because, you know, it's a whole different situation here. But yeah, okay. What's this, Sarge? You mean your legs? There. The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. Oh, so she was okay. That makes sense. She was injured before, but her father probably was still worried. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. It all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense. It was psychological. It all makes perfect sense. Yep. So I faked it. Makes sense, but I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa is watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him. He would never be disappointed in you. You're incredible. Yeah, this is something we do. We would give you a wheelchair if you injured both your legs, right? 100%. They would. Yeah. And I totally get the psychological aspect. I think other people feel that way too. There's like a psychological thing to even like sicknesses sometimes too, where like people feel like if I get better now, that means I have to face the world. That means I have to go back to work. That means I have to do this now. And in some cases, people, like, you know, again, it's not good, because in being sick or being hurt is not something people want to happen to them. But I do think there is a thing where like people would be like, if I pretend I'm sick a little bit longer, then I won't have to deal with my, you know, the world right now. So from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet. I'm so proud of you. What a brave kid trying to move forward like this. She's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. And if she wants to become a part of the writing agency, please. Like, I know I know Phoenix can't adopt another child, but like, it's about time Apollo adopts one. You know? It's about time. But it must be so hard this soon after her father's death. It's so difficult. Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you'll want to stop. Yep. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster strength to push through them. Yeah, you can do it. I love the support for Army Buff. Hey, Daddy's back. Yeah, great stuff with Army Buff there. He can barely look us in the eye right now. Phoenix, look us in the eye right now. I'm telling you right now. Mr. Wright. What's that look in his face for? Oh, Apollo. Is everything all right, Miss Faye? She's safe, for now. Well, then we better go save her quick. Where is she anyway? Oh, dear Lord. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Huh? Maya's not here in the States? She's still in Karain. And she's still being held Oh no, still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. The mastermind? That's right, Paul Aston Wimberson was nothing more than a pawn. You could definitely ascertain that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Maya's true abductors in the Kingdom of Crane, this is so bad. I mean, like, I guess, like, I thought that Addison did it himself. What are is there demands? Do they want the orb still? What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world is going on over there? They probably want the orb. Oh no, they're doing a to be continued here. But as shocking as the news was, it was only the beginning of something big enough to shake Karain to its very core. Turnabout revolution. I was being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what that day had in store for us. Huge cliffhanger. Can you imagine if this game was episodic? I'm gonna make sure to save right now. Huge. Absolutely huge. What a huge cliffhanger. My head is spinning. Because again, we got this happy moment, of course, but like, because when he said she's safe, I thought that like, okay, maybe Maya like was set free. Maybe like they found where Addison was keeping her, but it's not Addison who's keeping her, which is even more terrifying because I want to make it clear here. There's people in Crane who are absolutely beautiful, so I never want to paint everyone with the same brush. But there's also people in Crane that know how to utilize the laws, that know how to manipulate things, that know how to like really be cruel as well. And here the thing, I want to make it clear as well that that's also like something happens everywhere in America. There's people who are cruel in this courtroom right now. There's someone who is cruel enough to like, do this to Phoenix and Maya anyway and call Paul Addison. So there is people that's cruel all over the place. But I'm saying like in terms of their laws, there's not much protection for people. There really isn't. So it's terrifying Maya being held there. And we now have to I'm guessing we're going to Crane. I'm guessing we're all going to Crane. I think it's a trip we're going to be going on. Not everybody, like maybe like, not everyone has to go, but like it'd be more enjoyable for everyone to go, but like, not everyone has to go. This was a really interesting trial to have a civil trial in this case. And I think that the main theme of this trial was treating people with humanity and family. I think those are the big things. And when I say treating people with humanity, I've already talked about at great length. It's about Paul Addison treating people improperly, treating Army like she was nothing, treating Amy like she's nothing, Phoenix like he's nothing, all these people like he's nothing, and in the end it came back to bite him as what he sees everything as just a means to win. And it's a really horrible way to live, and he's a horrible person. He's horrifically horrible. Then there's the idea of the opposite of that was that we treat everyone with humanity, and it's what actually prevailed in the end, treating Phoenix with humanity, treating Army Buff with humanity, caring about Maya, caring about Phoenix, caring about Apollo, all these things. It does show the opposite side of that. But when I say it's all about family and this whole game's about family, this drove it home so much. Because we talked about how Rafa and her parents, that's a big theme of like, a broken family. We talked about, Apollo and his dad and the support that they bring to each other. Phoenix and his family, whether it be Athena, Trucy, Apollo, and having to go up against them. Addison and his grandfather, the way, again, his grandfather led him away with blue murder. There really is like this big theme of like how your family can shape you and change you and how like it can really like make you the person you are. Because you saw with Rafa, she's a character who was always like, kind of like very snotty and angry, and she's also says some pretty offensive stuff because that's ingrained in her. That's what she's been taught since she was a kid. On the other side of things, you have stuff like with Apollo, the way like he was taught to like protect people and care about people a bit from Dirk, but then also with Phoenix, his new father figure, he was really taught a lot of like stuff as well. And you look at Trucy, how she treats other people, all this stuff. You can really see how you really become something based on your upbringing and the luck of who you're born around. And I think that's a big theme in this trial too. This trial itself was, at least this section, was one of the hardest things to get through. It was so difficult seeing Phoenix toppled over and his head bent down, knowing that Maya could be killed, knowing that Maya could be hurt at any moment. It's such a horrible, difficult moment to think of. Because I wouldn't ever wish that, on anyone, is that feeling that Phoenix probably felt there, which is my family members in danger. Because again, I asked the question for ourselves here. I asked you guys the question, and I asked myself the question. I didn't even answer the question because it's a question you hope never comes to you. Do this or your family gets hurt. It's a question you hope never will ever come to you. And with a Phoenix, it clearly did come to him, and it's a horrible thing that it ever did. It's so bad. And that's why I feel so bad seeing him in this way. It just feels horrible. And I think that what they did really well in this trial was they had Apollo not exactly realize what was happening until a little bit later, because he's so caught up in this trial, and you have these different perspectives of from Phoenix's perspective, he feels terrible that he has to make Apollo do anything like this, and he feels terrible he has to lie. From Apollo's perspective, it's why the hell is Phoenix doing this? This isn't the Phoenix I know and love. Why is he doing this? And I think that's such a really good way of doing this. It really is, because he legitimately is they're both very good people. So it must have been very painful for Apollo as well to have to like question Phoenix in this way and to wonder why he would do this. But then as soon as he realized he was going to give up, but it wasn't for Dirk. Dirk gave him that power and again saved him from drowning metaphorically this time for him to move forward with the Defiant Dragon energy. And Apollo found a way to really save Phoenix. And I think, again, as I said, the parallels of Phoenix saving Apollo emotionally in the last trial and us saving Phoenix emotionally in this trial is not by accident. It's not. It's amazing. It's so incredible. It really feels like, it really feels like when you buy your dad the car when he's like older, here's your dream car. Not that I would be able to do that, you know what I mean? I feel like I just see that on like, YouTube shorts sometimes, it's like, oh, he bought his, I'm going to buy my dad his dream car, I'm sure some of those are like rented and some, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like giving back to your dad. And in this way, it was like giving back to Phoenix for all the years of help and stuff, I guess. Yeah, and even like using Phoenix's own methods against him as well was really beautiful too. And in the end, like we got to see Apollo and Phoenix working together, and Phoenix even stood down against against Apollo. It really was a fantastic sequence, and I loved him kind of like. I loved the both of them pressing Addison, and then Addison's breakdown was so fantastic too. I think like all in all, they had like an amazing trial for a civil trial. Like to make a civil trial so tense, they really like made it one of the most tense and hard things to get through. And Addison is such a delightfully delectable villain to defeat. He really is. Like defeating Addison is satisfying. But I think what they did is really amazing here is because I think, again, I don't know if it's intentional, but making a villain so detestable, right, and defeating him, but then doing the Maya stuff right afterwards and no, she's still in hostage. It makes this beautiful joy of defeating Addison short-lived. And I think it's like, hey, yeah, you defeated one of the worst and most annoying villains ever, but you can't celebrate for long, It really does like drive that home.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
So yeah, I thought this was amazing. I thought the themes were really great. I thought the actual trial itself was really, really tense. Some really fantastic moments. And I'm really, really nervous, but excited to see what's coming next with this game. I knew it wasn't the end, by the way, because they still have to wrap up Rafa's storyline. They still have to wrap up Nayuta's storyline. They still have to wrap up stuff with the Revolution and Igna. Like all these characters have like, if it ended there, it would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. And it didn't even have the energy of an ending of a Phoenix Wright game. So, you can tell. You can always tell. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. If you want to see this video early, this video came out early this week. And you can check that out. And it's the lowest tier of my Patreon and the lowest tier of my YouTube as well. Also, if you send money to the Ko-Fi in the description below, I can also send the links out as well. I think you can support on Ko-Fi. I might set that up as well for people who can't give Patreon or YouTube. So let's bear in mind, the link will be in the description. Check that out, and I'll set that up for you guys as well. See if you can do something like that as well. Because there's people who've been like, I want to support you, but I can't do Patreon or YouTube, and that's perfectly fine. So I want to say thank you to my patrons at the highest tier, which is the €15 tier or the $17 tier. Thank you so much to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, the Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Yasassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jared Beenham, Neo Sharat, and at the highest tier of our YouTube, Rolgum7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.